Well, welcome back to the U, Miss Marley.
Thank you.
You had a lot of people listen to you, and they said, "Who's that girl?"
Yeah, but last year I was here.
Yeah, you sure were.
Yep.
And we were going to play some of your music.
Yep.
What kind of music do you like?
I don't know.
You don't know. You're always listening and singing songs.
Well, I don't know which one I like, but Papa knows which one he likes.
Oh, yeah, I like all kinds of music.
Because he has a lot of music.
Yeah, and you know...
We had to put everything in the attic and stuff.
Yeah.
But some stuff we let it stay downstairs.
Right.
Like the computers.
That's what happens when you got to clean up and get organized.
Yep.
But we have some good music.
Yep.
And it's really fun when we get a chance to play in the studio.
Yeah.
Marley plays on the piano.
Yeah.
And she even plays the guitar.
Yep.
And she writes songs.
Yep.
And I think we've got some talent coming our way.
Yep. And who is it?
You, Miss Marley Moon. She sings this song called Stinkfoot.
Yep.
Do you remember that song?
No.
Yeah.
But do you want to sing it?
Yeah, you remember that song.
Ready?
Yeah.
Set, go.
We got the Stinkfoot that put a hurt on my...
shoe.
No, yeah. It's put the Stinkfoot
On my shoe.
and it puts a hurt on my nose. You got the Stinkfoot. Oh,
on
yeah.
My nose.
Yeah, you got the Stinkfoot.
On my nose.
Oh, that was good.
What else?
Well-
Song we should sing.
Well, we've got, it's a real good rockin' whole lot of lovin' going on.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Set, go.
A whole lot of lovin' going on. Rock and roll, rock and roll, rock it.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. So, we're gonna get back to playing some more tunes for you.
Yep, and here it is.
Initiate sonic metamorphosis. Broadcasting from the Millennium Student Center here at the University of Missouri, St. Louis, 1620 AM and online at umsulradio.com. This is UMSL Student Radio, the U.
Good evening. This is St. Louis Steve broadcasting to you live from the University of Missouri in St. Louis. This is the Spaces the Place radio program, and we're in the Millennium Student Center, and this evening we've got DJ Marley with us.
Hello.
And we're going to be spinning some tunes, so I hope you enjoy. Marley brought some good stuff. She's got her iPad with her. And this one song we want to play, it's called The Cat Man. How about that? Look at this cat man on the CD. It's a man with a cat head and a cat woman with a cat head. It's and the ladies in the back. This is Mississippi River Rue Scarfina. And I'm going to tell you more about it, but let's kick it off.
Yep.
With the Steve Scarfina Band. that was Steve Scorfina, and we had recently saw them out at the Wentzville Classic Rock and Blues Fest, and they were able to play with Ingrid Berry. What do you think, Marley?
Very awesome.
Very awesome, yeah. So we're going to continue on, and we're going to share headphones because the monitor app is turned off. So we're sharing headphones so I can hear what we're talking about.
And
my mama dressed me like a Mardi Gras. 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 You ask me where I get my style. There's southern air in that pretty boy smile. Should be the prize of the Bell Profit Ball. Before you dance, girl, gotta learn how to crawl.
Oh yeah.
My mama dressed me like a Mardi Gras. Now down in Shiloh, they'll be dancing in the streets, shaking their hips to that funky beat, standing bulletproof and 10 feet tall, drinking Budweiser now and having a ball. My mama dressed me like a Mardi Gras.
What is that?
Hey little girl, where'd you learn to dance? And how do you squeeze in those Mardi Gras pants? Time to cut loose now and have some fun. Down in Louisiana, girl, behind the sun. My mama dressed me like a Mardi Gras. My mama dressed me like a Mardi Gras. My mama dressed me like the Mardi Gras.
Oh my God.
My mama dressed me like the Mardi Gras. It's party time. My mama dressed me like a Mardi Gras. My mama dressed me like a Mardi Gras.
Where'd you get that?
My mama dressed me like a Mardi
Hello.
Hi. This is Ainjel
How are you?
Emme calling in, right?
Yes, it is.
Wow, this is super. This is Ainjel Emme all the way from wherever you're at these days. I don't even know.
I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh,
Sunny
cool.
Hollywood, California.
Oh, that's great. I was thinking
Actually,
you were
East Hollywood.
like in Venice or something, and also, hey, I've got a co-host with me here, my granddaughter, DJ Marley Moon.
Boo!
Marley, say hi to Ainjel.
Angel.
Yeah.
Hi, Marley.
Here, you got to put your headphones on. She just got finished getting a soda from down at the rec center. Where?
It's my weakness.
Yeah.
Delicious soda.
Mr. Pibb.
Oh, my goodness.
So, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you? Okay, tell us something, Marley. Tell something to Ainjel for us. Say about how you write songs too.
Hi.
Hi.
She gets a little shy, and then all of a
Of
sudden,
course, performance anxiety.
yeah,
I still have it.
and then she just breaks loose unbelievably. She'll start dancing and singing, and then as soon as you get the camera out, she just locks up. You know, and it's like, gosh, if only I would have got that. You know.
She's like, hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Right. Hey, well, this is so great. I was playing some tunes. This is my normal scheduled time for the Spaces the Place radio program, and I play stuff all over the universe map.
Papa.
I love it.
From jazz to blues to rock to indie, all kinds of stuff, you know. So you have had your songs played off and on through the years quite a bit. So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very, very much.
Now you know it's more the early stuff. You know, I don't really have any of your newer stuff. You want to tell us about what you've been working on for the last little bit?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I released Everyone is Beautiful a couple of years back, and after that project, I really wanted to dive into production and engineering a little bit more because I've had an idea for a record for a really long time, and it's taken a lot of work to even just get the scope of the production. So I'm recording demos for that now. It's called Exit Starlight, and it's kind of a concept record, and we're making a little film that's going to go along with it. It's like kind of a concert video in the old veins of what they used to do, like Prince's Sign of the Times kind of stuff.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, I want to do really big production, and I'm going to be releasing a lot of new music that I've been working on for the past couple of years in the interim this summer. So I'm going to start mixing down and releasing all of the singles that I've been working on during this time as well.
Yeah. I just got.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I just got booted out of my chair. She took the iPad and went into the other part of the studio. So sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah. So, you've got all kinds of stuff you're working on, and I think you've got a bunch of fans that you've had out there for years, wanting to hear it. You know, because you really were something else there for, at least 5 or 10 years ago, whenever it was. I can't remember.
Yeah.
What was the name of the album that, I don't have your CD with me right now. So.
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was Heartache is Boring.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that was my first time, making a full-length studio record. I had some great guidance, but I went into it pretty cold. I didn't have a record label or anything like that, so I learned a lot in that process, and then took that to my second record and learned a lot there, and now I feel like I'm at the point where I am going to be making the kind of records that I've always wanted to make, which is really exciting.
Great. Well,
yeah, I actually just released the first song I've ever released commercially that I basically, recorded and mixed myself.
Oh, good. Can we get that on iTunes then?
I haven't put it up for sale yet, but it is available through my website and at Bandcamp, and I'll probably have it up I'm going to do a big push with 3 singles to start, and then there's going to be a bunch more coming after that. But I'm going to release them hopefully in the next month or so.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, Nameless is the main tune right now that you're going to be, we're going to be hearing and seeing. That's the one with the music video and stuff.
Well, actually, Nameless is just kind of my first little probe that I'm sending out since I'm starting to leak new music. I did release a single, a little while back called "Down the Moon."
Okay.
And Machine is actually going to be the single off of my off of my third record, which is coming up next. And I'm going to release that ahead of the record, so people can kind of hear what I'm doing. So that's going to be the biggest single that's going to come next.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, I'm just going to start sharing what I've been working on, outside of this record.
Oh,
well.
Great. Now, it seems like you've been playing the piano or keyboard more lately than playing guitar. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely.
That's your main
my
instrument?
first instrument. It was my first. It's hard to say what my main instrument is because I play guitar, piano, and bass, and all 3 of them are really, I really enjoy it. I play bass with a lot of other artists, and usually on my own records. And guitar, clearly I've had a love affair going there, but piano is not something I really brought into the public, my relationship with the piano, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. And do you want to tell us about your band? Is it basically are you touring or doing anything locally there out in L.A. and Hollywood area? Or how's that work?
Me personally, I'm in the studio.
Okay.
Most of the time I'm working on 2 records with other artists. There's a young lady, Alpha, who is about to release her first record on the new label she just signed to, and I'm doing some vocal production for that. And I'm producing a record by Rye Daisies, who's a transgender singer-songwriter from Michigan, who's awesome. So I'm doing other projects with people. I'm playing bass with this guy, Rob Hotchkiss, who he co-founded the band Train. And co-wrote Drops of Jupiter, which is like one of the really more perfect pop songs I ever heard. So working with him has been amazing. He's a fantastic songwriter. I'm actually going up to San Francisco to play a gig with him next week.
Did you say that he was in Train? Or
yeah, he co-wrote Drops of Jupiter. They won a Grammy. He was in for the first 3 records.
Drops of Jupiter. Okay, now I know Train because see they came to St. Louis. And they performed at our Peabody Opera House, and those Train guys are extremely cool. They were backstage, and they were all real super nice. So I'm trying to remember, what was this one guy's name that you're saying?
Rob Hotchkiss.
Rob Hotchkiss. I'll have to.
He was on the early records, the first 3, I believe. Don't quote me on that because, I don't know.
yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm just wondering if it was like. Maybe the same guy that I was talking to. Was really cool. But, it's really neat when we get a chance to connect with talent. I don't know. It is such an amazing feeling when you've got somebody in your presence that has the gift. And I do believe that you have the gift. I've known it all along.
Thank you so much. You absolutely that I had the opportunity to call you. Of course, I was going to call you right away. I'm glad I got a hold of you. But I really appreciate the people that have been with me, have stayed with me, and in the there are the dark moments where you're like, why the hell am I even doing this? And it really is people like you supporting us that keeps artists like me going.
Right.
So thank you.
Yeah. You had that Heartache is Boring CD. I've always liked it anyway, and because it was one of the ones that I would just let play over, run. And there was a couple of tunes that you had. I'm trying to remember what's about the Over My Head or what's the one with the main chords where you do the dun 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 dun. You know what I'm talking about?
That's Long As It's Sweet.
Long As It's Sweet. Why am I not forgetting? Yeah, I don't have any of your music with me right now, or I'd be playing it in between while we're talking. But
You know what's funny about that song and that I kind of love is that that's the one song on the record that I played everything on. And it was a great opportunity for me to do that finally because I had never done it before on at least, a commercial record. So on that particular song, I did the drums, I did the bass, I did the guitars and all of that. And people love that song. I'm really, really glad.
oh yeah, it's
I had no idea.
and you're saying that you're going to go ahead and put it on your new one too? Is that what you're?
No.
Oh, I mean that would be kind of neat. I've seen that before where singers will bring back one of their main classic tunes and they'll do like a new recording of it.
I could reimagine it. I definitely could reimagine it. I actually was talking to another artist friend of mine, Deborah Falconer. I sing backup with her sometimes and did some work on her last record. She did a cover of the song that is phenomenal, and I'm actually trying to get her in the studio to cut it. It's really, really good.
Of
and I have
that
another
same
friend,
song,
Ray Prim.
She did a version of "Long Is It Sweet."
Yeah, you saw Deborah on my live stream, didn't you? She sang that the Eagle song.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did tune into that.
Yeah, she's a fantastic singer-songwriter, very, very underrated, and made some great, like her last record was just fantastic. So I'm hoping I can get her in the studio to cut that. I also have another friend in Austin, Ray Prim, who's been covering that song for years in his set. So I'm glad to see that it's had a life, beyond me. So maybe I will bring it back one of these days. That'd be fun.
If you want my vote, I think you should do it.
You know what? I'll do it. I'm starting a band with my mom and her longtime bass player.
Are you serious?
Mess around a little bit.
Are you really serious? You're playing with your mom?
Yeah. We just wanted to start a little project.
That is so cool.
Together.
That is so cool.
So that would be a good song to cut. I think I'll talk to the girls about that. See if we can pull it off.
Now, what does your mom play?
My mom is actually a singer-songwriter, guitarist like myself, but lately she's been playing drums and percussion.
Wow.
So she plays drums in a band, and
now,
four of them all songwriters.
Do I know of her at all? Is she
She's
from
pretty
Austin?
Low key. No, she's been local. She's from Los Angeles. Her name's Lonnie Martinez. She had a folk trio back in the day called Lonnie, Donnie, and Janine. And Janine is a bass player who plays with her now, still in the band that they're in. So they've been playing together forever, and those two kind of raised me musically. So it makes sense that we would want to get together and do something.
Right. That would be neat. I'll be interested to hear that. So yeah.
Well, you'll be one of the first people to hear it, I'm sure, if it happens.
So you've got let's see, all this stuff that you got in work to do. It sounds like you have a huge goal right in front of you that you're getting close to achieving.
Yeah, I've been working really hard. It's been about 5 years I've been on this project.
That's great. So is there do you have is it already the album or what record already been titled, or do you have any kind of contemporary thing that's going on that's kind of influencing this production, or relating to, or is it just sort of you know what I'm saying?
I'm telling kind of a story. I've always had this kind of aspiration to make. I'm not going to be so presumptuous as to say, I'm remaking The Wall, but I was really inspired by that album by people like Roger Waters and David Bowie, who brought more to their story than just a kind of personal story. They took on, really epic stuff. And as I started writing this album, kind of this weird story revealed itself to me. So I'm kind of telling a full story about technology and about us kind of evolving and the struggle between, God and science. It's huge, to try to explain it in a radio interview or a quick hello, but I think that people will get it as I start to reveal pieces of it.
And has it got a name to it yet, or did you?
Yeah, the album is titled Exit Starlight.
Exit Starlight. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I'll go ahead when I'm done. Get your email address. Make sure I have it, and I'll send you the demo of the first single. And if you want to play it, you're welcome.
Oh, that would be super. So let's back out for a second and talk about Ainjel. Who are you? Tell us a little bit something about you. I mean, you always post these really intense, deep pictures where you're out in the desert with the stars and stuff. And I'm always, when I see pictures that you put on there, I just like, wow, what a cool person. Look at this.
You know, I do that as much as possible. I am your average kind of work-a-day gal. I don't wait tables anymore, but I spent a lot of time doing that. And now I support myself, you know, teaching music and producing and working with other artists. So that's great that my whole life now is working in music, but it's not all just making records. And yeah, I grew up between California and Austin, Texas. So, you know, I had a lot of exposure to really great music communities. Mm-hmm. And I've wanted to do this my whole life. And I basically work in the studio most days, or I'm working on music in some capacity, and backing other artists up when I'm not working on my stuff. That's pretty much my whole life. And the whole fame thing, you know, that is what it is. But I've really more been in pursuit of educating myself and being the best musician and best recording artist that I could be. So I've really focused my career more on that than getting out there and making the rounds in the kind of publicity world. So that's why I'm not really known, you know, and if I am, I hope, you know, my goal is like, if I die, I just want to die with my name on a good stack of great records. Oh. And if somebody, you know, if somebody hears them, great. If not, then at least they happened.
Mm-hmm. That is really neat. Yeah. I actually have been getting real nervous lately about life. I don't know what it is. I know, you know, of course I know what it is because I hear of all these bombings and different things that are going on. And it's almost like, oh my gosh, what's next, you know? And, so it's almost, and I just turned, 59. Yesterday was my birthday.
Nice.
Yesterday was my birthday. And so, I'm thinking, well, 59 really isn't that old, but when you look at 60 and then you hear other people about 70 or all, it's like, well, I don't know. You're only as old as you feel and all that. But, you know, I just don't know when you know, everybody should always be concerned about what is the next day in your life going to be like, you know, and make the most of the time while you're here, you know. So
definitely. I think we've lost a lot of that, you know, so, my focus as an artist is, you know, how can I contribute in a way that puts more focus on, you know, the things that we do need to be focused on. I feel like a lot of music these days is very escapist or very prefabricated. It's lifestyle stuff, and I really miss the message.
Mm-hmm. So earlier you were saying that you are currently collaborating with, was it Rye Davies?
Rye daisies, yeah, like
is
little flowers.
R-Y?
R-I-E.
R-I-E Davies. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, she's great. You know, when she sent me, she actually consulted with me. She was just like, hey, you know, I loved your first record. Could you give me some advice? And I was like, well, send me some of your stuff. And I listened to it, and then she sent me some demos of the new stuff that she's working on, and she's just really different and really prolifically talented.
Good.
And she's really... she's doing something that I've never seen or heard before. Mm-hmm. So
I'll have to give a listen. And the
great
person that you were saying before her, you were talking so fast I couldn't jot down the name of who you were saying.
Rob Hotchkiss.
No, not Rob. No? It was the one that currently you're working with.
Oh, Alpha, A-L-F-A. Alpha Garcia, yeah.
Alpha Garcia?
Uh-huh.
And tell us about Alpha Garcia.
Yeah, she's great. I'm doing some vocal production for her and her record. I think she's releasing a single in the next week or so. So if I can get that to you too, I'll send it over.
Yeah, please. You know, it almost sounds like you've got whatever you want to call it, a whole show that you could put together and go on tour with. And you know where I'm going with this. How many times through the years have been saying, hey, when you coming to St. Louis? Hey,
listen, we will come. Right now I don't even have a car that runs, but we will come.
Hey, I'll call up Uber. I'll call Uber up and have you get a ride here if that's what it takes.
Honestly, I'm plugged into an amazing community of creative and talented musicians, and we really have been talking for a long time about doing stuff together. So, the minute we can mobilize, I don't see why we wouldn't come to St. Louis.
Well, here's a thought. You got any connection with people from the Midwest?
Not really. I'm kind of Texas, East Coast,
right.
and California.
I know you got
Northwest.
the Austin South by Southwest kind of groove. There is a singer-songwriter that is dear to our heart. She's been on my show. She was involved with a lot of stuff here at UMSL, and she moved out west. She's currently in Hollywood, and her name's Elizabeth G. apostrophe Sell. Elizabeth Giselle. I don't know if do you know of her?
I don't.
Please do me a favor.
Out to her.
Please do me a favor. Check her out. You could hook up with her, and that would be a great avenue for you to come to St. Louis, because she has got a lot of energy, and she can make something happen with you. I think and she's very talented. She was
awesome.
She was an actress and everything, and she's got some production CDs out and everything now. So I'll send you a thing to you about her, so you don't forget. But yeah, I'm just thinking, the whole thing about hitch a ride. You could hitch a ride with her to St. Louis and do a concert with her.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Right. That's people always give me static, like, whoa, your idea. But really, some of my ideas like this have come true. I've gotten, Jess Klein, probably.
I do.
I got Jess Klein to come to St. Louis after I don't know how long, and she actually did a house concert for us. And
something like that I would love to do.
Yeah, I think this is so cool, and everybody just loved her so much. And then she came back several times since that, So it's really good that we can try to get people that don't get to come here. And another one example is Patrice Pike.
I love Patrice. You know what?
Yeah,
I have been
so
a fan
cool
of her since I first got started.
Really?
She is such a beautiful spirit and is exactly what music is all about.
Wow,
she's amazing.
That is so great. I was hoping that you would say that. If only she could have heard that.
Well, I'll let her know.
Please,
that we were talking about her.
Yeah, please do, because I'm like one of her biggest fans. I mean, she's got a zillion fans, and everybody just loves her. I call her the Angel of Austin. And
she really is.
Yeah.
She really is.
Yeah. So, and here I am speaking with an angel too. So what can I say? I love how you spell your name.
Thank you. It's different.
How did you actually get that name? Is that like on your birth certificate, or did you kind of modify that?
I was born Angela, have been Angel most of my life. It was spelled weird because I wanted it that way, and my mom was like, sure, spell it however you want. So it's been a long time.
Oh, that
most of my life. I remember the first time I Googled myself, which was, I don't want to even talk about how long ago that was. I was the only one that I had seen in existence on the internet. Now it's mostly, dancers and models with my name. But, still one singer out there.
Well, great. I know you probably got a million things to do, and you probably I don't want to waste any of your time. But I am so happy
to finally speak with you.
Yeah,
really
and I'm going to make some efforts to get something more for real about some kind of production or something here.
Yeah, I've been dormant for a little while I was, I did go into the studio. I worked at Interscope Records. I really put myself in the engineering chain to learn. So the past couple of years have been me working kind of behind the scenes, and all of the stuff I've been working on now is finally starting to surface. So you're going to be seeing more of me in the next years.
Because with Exit Starlight coming out, that would be so appropriate to play On Space is the Place.
Yeah, it really would be. Well, I'll be there. We'll make it happen.
Well, I mean, even if you have to do some kind of simulcast thing, that would be, we can do that. So,
Well, we have a lot of options. I would
Great.
definitely love to help
Great.
any way I can.
Well, thanks so much for calling in, and I'm going to stay tuned in to you. So I wish you all the best in achieving your goals. So
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for everything over the years. It's really
you're-
a pleasure to have you, in my family. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay. Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Peace, love, and happiness is what I'm striving for.
Shadow of some upset sun.
Okay, we've been listening to a few tunes of TTNG, Disappointment Island. I don't even know what TTNG stands for, but I'm going to take an action item and figure that out. It's pretty interesting music. That was from our college music journal stash that we get, CMJ stuff. And this one here is off of the UMTV stuff that we get also, which is really cool. Just before we had a call in from Ainjel Emme, a singer-songwriter out in LA and Hollywood. And she is an amazing singer. She's working on a new